Hey, it's Dr. Fred. Hey, what's the simplest communication that we can have? It's the simplest mindset that can get 90% of all patients into lifestyle chiropractic. What's that mean? Living chiropractic lifestyle. Now, it's pretty easy because here's the deal. If you're going to get 90%, it can't be hard. It can't be hard. It's got to be easy because that's too big of a number. We can't work hard. You can't do hard work and expect to get 90%. It's got to be simple. How do I know that? Because I already tried it the hard way. I had 4 coaches. I did it the hard way for 11 of the 14 to 15 years that I practiced in 4 practices. I did it the hard way. It's frustrating. It burns you out. People still leave. And what's that hard way? Patient education. Now, that may seem completely counterintuitive, and just hang on, because everybody's educate. I get it. I did the same thing. Trust me. I stood on my orange crate with my megaphone and I preached the principle of chiropractic, and I educated and still had a 40 PVA. Had a high volume practice, but guess what? In a corrective care practice where people are coming 3 times a week, when the average patient comes for 40 visits, that's a 40 PVA. That's 3 months. That means the average patient is leaving in 3 months, which means what? At the volume that I was at, I had to get 40 new patients a month to keep my volume where it was at. That was hard work. And what was the process? Educate on the daily visit, give a workshop, educate. I already went through that. It was constant teaching, constant education. Why? Because I didn't know. Here's what I didn't know. And this is one of the secrets in a 7-figure lifestyle practice. What I didn't know is how to stop talking to their frontal lobe and how to give them information in a way that creates a neuro-emotional reaction and rewiring in their subconscious mind so that you don't have to tell them a bunch of times. Now it creates an experience. So we go from patient education to patient experience and information that they have to try to remember. How do I know? Because I had to tell them the same thing over and over again. Well, what was that, doc? And what about this? And how long do I have to come 3 times a week? And la. And I'm sure you've heard all those things too. And then what I learned is when I created an experience, I didn't even have to tell them a second time. Why? Because you take information, you couple it with an emotion, and you say not what you want them to hear, but what they need to hear. And then they don't forget it. So the model moves from patient education to patient experience. We doubled our PVA, re-signs were automatic, family members were automatic. And here's the simplest thought. It's only 2 things, 2 thoughts and their questions. One is there's only one problem that's a question. Every patient only has one problem. Did you live a chiropractic lifestyle? So when they show up on day 1, you don't have to ask them that, but did they live a chiropractic lifestyle? That's your mindset. And what's that answer? Probably 10 out of 10 times, maybe 99 out of 100 times is no, they didn't. So because they didn't live the lifestyle of chiropractic, now they're showing up, maybe pain, chronic pain, but what else? It's asthma, it's also colitis, it could be cancer, it could be autoimmune disease, it could be allergies, it could be a number of things. And so that's the problem. What do they show up with physically? A subluxated spine. They show up with postural distortions. They show up with curve problems. They may show up with segmental translations, whatever they have, however you're looking at a subluxated spine. Their posture's off, the curves are changed. And that's what you're seeing physically. Now, day 2 measures the damage that was done. So the consultation looks at, okay, did you live a chiropractic lifestyle? No. Well, let's go through your health problems. Now you go through, in Elite, we call it the subluxation story. Why do we make it a story? Because people remember 22 times more of the information in a story than they do in facts. And this is why patient education isn't as important as the experience that you create. So when you make the lifestyle that they led, their belief systems that brought them to you today in a progressive story, they won't forget it. They remember it. Now, this isn't, any different than any other life you talk to. Man, how did you live your life? If you have these problems, how did you live your life? Because how you lived your life brought you to where you are today. Now, day one, day two isn't about solving their health problems, because here's the problem. This is the challenge in healthcare, is that people have a health problem. They go to a doctor, they give them some type of answer, whether it's a drug, exercise, whatever it is, depending on who you go to, right? Nutrient. It solves the problem, and then they're done. Well, that's what we do when we focus on fixing their health problem. That's what the optimal spine, optimal health problem is, because optimal spine, if you fix their spine, that's a result. Optimal health becomes a result when you fix their spine. Now look at your PVA, that's office visits per week divided by new patients per week on average. So if you see an average of 200 people a week, you have an average of 5 new patients, you got a 40 PVA. Why is it a 40 PVA? Because they start to feel better. Their asthma is 60% better. They don't have stomach problems anymore. They don't have headaches or migraines they suffered with for 30 years. Their back is great. They feel strong. And all of a sudden, I'm too busy. I don't have time taking my kids here. How much is that going to cost? All of a sudden, why? Because you gave them information, because you solved their health problem, because that's what you taught them in the beginning. You taught them about health problems. You wanted them to get lifestyle. And if you're talking about health, some people will get it, because you have people that are coming to you because they got it. Well, why did they get it and someone else didn't? See, that's the problem that I had. Why did some people get it and other people didn't? Because I was talking to people in a similar way, with different learning patterns, with different emotional experience, with different mindsets and beliefs. And then when I learned how to deal with that individual in front of you or in front of me, rather than giving them this planned information, what I did was I had the information, but I told them what they needed to hear that would change their belief system, that would neuro-emotionally rewire their subconscious mind, that made it a habit and a lifestyle. Not that they needed to live, because people don't buy what they need. What do they buy? They buy what they want. And so they wanted to live the lifestyle with them and their family, because I told them what they needed to hear in a consultation. I told them what they needed to hear in an exam. Do we have systems and scripts? Absolutely. Do we teach you how to tailor them to that person, that personality type, that belief system in front of you? Absolutely. Because this is what I ran into. And here's what I said in my ultimate frustration when I would go to the management groups that I hired and had paid tens and tens of thousands of dollars. And I would say, well, how do I handle this? Well, know your scripts. I know my scripts. I'll give you a report of findings right now, verbatim of your scripts. I know your scripts. That's not good enough. And then in frustration, I said, why do some people get it and some people don't, when I'm saying the same thing to all of them? And then the light bulb went off. Did it just get brighter in this room? What's that mean? That's the problem. I'm saying the same thing to every person. And you're not going to talk the same way to a CEO, right, as you are to a stay-at-home mother of four. They have different lives. They have different values. They have a different purpose. They have different emotions. They have different emotional strategies on how they overcome the challenges in their life and how they deal with emotional issues. So when you understand these personality types and you learn to adapt it to the person, and then what's the simple thing? Did you live a chiropractic lifestyle? Well, maybe you went to chiropractic for back pain. Well, did he teach you that the spine and nervous system is foundation of health and life of the body? No, he didn't. So he didn't teach you that. So all he did was set a very small goal, get the inflammation out, help your pain. But did he talk to you about your asthma? Did he talk to you about your digestive problems? Did he talk to you about the fact that you have allergies? You've had allergies and a weakened immune system your whole life. He didn't tell you any of that. They didn't show you the relationship between all of those conditions and stress on the nervous system and how we help people with those conditions every day. They didn't talk to you about that. No, he didn't. Well, it's not your fault, Mrs. Jones. But would you agree, if this is causing your health problems now, if you're in a call station, that now knowing it is your responsibility? Absolutely. That is changing a belief system. That's not information. How do people take massive action? Spending 25 years learning self-empowerment, how to empower people to change their life. Sounds like chiropractic to me. If you want to have people live a different life, then you have to empower them to want to do something to change their life. A, take responsibility. B, give them something they absolutely emotionally are attached to and is aligned with their values and purpose in life. And they will absolutely go forward and change the way they live their life. And that's how you get 90%. So what are the two simple principles? One, did you live a chiropractic lifestyle? Now that's the question you ask yourself, but you can literally ask them after you've set the foundation. What's the second one? How do you want to live? Tell me how you want to live. And so when they tell you how they want to live, well, I want to live healthy the rest of my life. Okay, well, right now you have 5 subluxations, 6 postural distortions, 15 different health problems. Because how you live without taking care of your spine and nervous system is how you got here. So if you want to live the rest of your life, you want to be healthy, would you agree you have to get healthy first? And they'll say, absolutely. Now they lost the right to object to your program. They lost the right to object to time and money. They don't even want to object to time and money. Well, you know what? I've done this. Well, I bet you haven't done exactly like that. However, because what's the only problem you're solving? Lifestyle. If they objected to time and money, what they saw was a program to maybe help their health problems. You sold them a program. Now, should they have wanted to solve their health problems? Absolutely. But maybe you didn't handle their belief systems. Maybe they don't trust doctors. Who knows? Maybe they're so wired on back pain that, they didn't care about their health problem, or they didn't believe you, or they couldn't even hear what you're saying because their belief system is stronger. Their belief system that's coupled with an emotion in their subconscious mind is stronger than the information that you're talking to in their frontal lobe. Guess what? That's the way human behaviors work. So when we look at secrets to the 7-figure lifestyle practice, what are those secrets? Human behavior communication, to change belief systems, to not just talk to them with information, but how to tell them what they need to create an experience that now creates a subconscious habit. So when you ask, how do you want to live? Well, if you want to live healthy, do you agree you have to get healthy first? Well, do you want to find out how to get healthy? Let me show you this. Now, what are they doing? You have to get healthy. What's the key word? First. So what are they focused on? They're focused on lifestyle. The program is just recovering their health. Why? Because they didn't live a chiropractic lifestyle. So when you are so simple with this thought process, that's all you want to talk about. Then you learn, okay, how do they understand living a lifestyle or not living a lifestyle? Well, there's 4 principles. 4 principles are the mindset principles of how you get them to understand lifestyle, to want to live a new lifestyle. Now, if you go down the feed a little bit more, you'll see a chiropractic lifestyle revolution podcast. We post these podcasts in here. Look for 4 principles to create a lifestyle patient on day 1. And not only will I go through the 4 principles, I'll show you how to apply them on day 1, day 2. You will watch people change right in front of you. Now, what am I doing? I'm taking all of these things right out of the secrets to the 7-figure lifestyle practice. So if you use these and you see an impact with just what I'm telling you, on the podcast and this, there's so many secrets in the 7-figure lifestyle practice. What 7 figures represent? Well, that means you're making $80,000 to $100,000 a month just on your wellness people. Now, it's not about the money. Forget about the money, because all the money does is represent impact. And so I've had people say, well, I don't want to make 7 figures. Well, then don't. But here's the thing. When you're creating 9 out of 10 lifestyle patients, you're probably going to end up there anyway. And if you don't want that money, because it's not about the money, it's about the impact, I guarantee you're going to love the impact. Because what are the benefits of the impact? It's easy. It's a subconscious belief. You don't have to talk them into bringing their kids. It's already a lifestyle. You're raising their kids, and you're raising their grandkids, and you're raising their great grandkids over years. And guess what? They make their appointments because it's a subconscious habit, just like going to church or going to yoga class or whatever they're going to do. It's automatic. They make their appointments. The front desk isn't recalling them and doing all this stuff. And it's fun and it's easy. And you have lifelong relationships, because the lifelong relationships that is the impact that makes what you do in chiropractic so fulfilling. So the question is, if you run into some of your patients today, 30 years from today, if you didn't see them 30 years from today, would they still be going to chiropractor every week or every month? What percentage would still be doing that? Because the impact that we can make is for generations. We're not just creating a practice, we're creating a legacy. So let's create a legacy practice that is bulletproof, financially abundant, gives you freedom, is way more fun, it's easy, and it fulfills your purpose for you and your team on a higher level. Okay, gang, 2 questions. Did they live the lifestyle? How do you want to live? All right, love you guys. Hey, we'll be doing this every week, so keep up and let other people know, and let's create a chiropractic lifestyle movement and revolution. And then call me. You can go to Elite Coaching LLC, check out the boot camps, schedule yourself for a discovery call. Let's find out where you are, what it's going to take. And if we can help you make a bigger impact with more lifestyle patients than ever before, the public and the world is thirsting for the chiropractic lifestyle and your message. Let's give it to them and make an impact. That's why you're here today. All right. Love you guys. Peace.